There we go. All right.
Hi.
Sensei. All right. So as you said, as you read through the email, the goal right here is we're going to see how it would be possible to integrate an accessible solution to Swann, and
Mhm.
then from there see how we could then use that to sort of get other people involved, and also just use it as a way to promote the Japanese language program as well. So.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Mm.
And then so this is kind of how I foresee the situation.
Mhm.
Probably we should first talk to the chair
Hi.
and then check the regulation just because that's kind of my biggest concern. Other things probably will be I don't know financial too, but
Sure,
I
sure.
think it should there should be a way to do it, but the only concern is the regulation. And also I don't know if I just thought about it a little bit further and then thought maybe like a students put something together might not be allowed just because of the security or safety, or I don't know, something like that. So probably there, like, we might need to ask like corporation or something company to do the work. So I
Mhm.
think we should check that with the chair.
Mm.
But I'm just guessing probably he would approve for
Mm.
our general idea. And so yeah, that's the probably I'm thinking that's the first step.
Mm.
And then yeah, just seek his guidance. And then next thing I'm thinking is just kind of like I said, maybe study of group, form a study group, or
Mhm.
maybe do an event where you can
Mm.
present and then
Mm.
educate us.
Right.
Then yeah, and then if chair approves of we put something together,
Mm.
then yeah, during that
Mm.
um, event, or after that we could form a group,
Right.
study group, and then they can kind of yeah put something together.
I understand. That sounds like a plan. I will say this though. I wouldn't be too wary about this being allowed purely because I've been doing what you described. So what we're doing right here, I've
Mhm.
been doing in multiple different buildings throughout
Okay,
Georgia Tech. So you know
excellent.
the Culk, for example,
Yeah.
the undergraduate, yeah, where we met. So in that place, for example, I did a walkthrough of it about a week ago where I pointed out areas that needed to be improved for
Okay.
accessibility with the facilities manager
Yeah.
specifically. Since this is a building issue, I think that the way to go might not be necessarily, of course, informing the department chair or the director. That's all very good, letting more people know what we're doing, just because we don't want to catch anybody off guard. But
Yeah.
the facilities manager would likely be the person that would be directly in charge of doing any kind of modification. That being said, they should like allow it to the point where if they don't allow it, I would be able to make a very strong case, and I would also potentially, even if they didn't allow it just in general, I might even have to bring that up to other members of administration just to
Mm.
ask why,
Okay.
because again, I'm doing the same thing in every building around campus, or I'm trying to. So I wouldn't worry about it being allowed necessarily. I think that you are right about code specifically because the issue is that we are dealing with a staircase, right? But adding in a ramp, I really don't think that there should be an issue for seeing. But if anything like that comes up, just let me know, or although I'll be there as
Yeah.
well. And I think I'll be able to make a case for it because again, like even now, the CRC, for example, I'm going to do the exact same thing because I met with the director or of that. So I'll be going around that building and doing what we're doing here. In regards to a student building it, um, I don't know what
Mhm.
would be the case on that, but I think that we shouldn't worry about that too much purely because I've seen other students do the same things, right? And then they've been able to utilize their inventions and solutions throughout campus.
Yeah.
Another example is the provost. You know what the provost is,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So when I was meeting with him last semester,
Really?
going through a lot of
You know him?
I've been did you see the video を見ましたか？
ビデオまだ見てない。ごめんなさい。
はいはい、
But
そう。
I saw, yeah, you've been posting, you
うん。
posted some videos, right, in the
はい。
past. So when I was going through grading your hiragana, I
Right.
watched few of your videos.
So the reason why I'm pushing for this now is because the video specifically that was me meeting with the entirety of campus services senior leadership. So
Okay.
that means like for example, the director of dining, the director or of the CRC, the director of the stamps office,
Mhm.
the director of auxiliary services, all of them. So because of that, they're aware of these issues, so getting permission for certain things wouldn't be possible. And again, tying that back into what I was saying originally, a lot of the solutions that they're asking me to provide are student created necessarily. So I think that that also wouldn't be something too much to worry about. But if at the end of the day, it's like truly and honestly, they just want to make sure that it's done by something outside of Georgia Tech. There are numerous ramp making companies. I've had to have one installed in my own home, and they're pretty easy to you just get the dimensions and then you're able to buy one. So that would really be the end goal. But the main reason why I was saying we wanted it to be student made is because as I was saying, I feel like this is a really good opportunity to advertise the Japanese program here at Georgia Tech, and being able to customize it specifically, to potentially put on kanji characters, something along those lines. I think it would really help with engagement specifically for students, and just outside sources in general. I know for a fact that like this would be a great interest story for a lot of different news stations and whatever, and that just, benefits the language learning program, it benefits you, and also it benefits me in the long run because my goal as well is to increase the awareness, because the more I do that, the more I can get more people on board to do more things like this throughout campus.
Yep, I totally agree with you. And it sounds like you are the expert here and you know how to make this work, and then you are connected with people. So
Mhm.
I would let you lead this project. And probably the part that I can help you with is to get yeah, you connected with the admin people at the
Mhm.
School of Modern Languages.
Mhm.
And one question that I have with you, so you want to have this project as with a Japanese program, but do you
Mhm.
want to extend the invitation to other language program and
I
then make
think
it into modern language program as opposed to just Japanese or
I think that's honestly that's up to you. I would love to get more people involved, but at the same time, whatever we are more comfortable with. Actually, I don't know. So is Swan specifically for just all modern language programs? Is it specifically
yeah,
for the Japanese? If it's for all modern language programs, then
yeah,
sure, yeah, we could use that, and then we could make it a global initiative
yeah.
as well. That would get more people involved, etc., etc. So that would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. So
Mm,
yeah, but we could kind of advertise or promote Japanese
mm,
just because it's you who started this
mm,
project, and
mm,
so let's just make sure we would emphasize that. But I would, my preference is to invite more
mm.
people and get more people involved. I
Both.
think that way the case gets stronger, and I think it's better for everyone. So let's do it that way. And but we can start.
Mm,
And like I said, I will let you lead.
mm.
So maybe first thing, do you want to would you like to meet with the chair?
I think so. There are two ways that we could go about this.
Mhm.
So, and this is just from my experience doing stuff like this on camp.
Yeah.
So we could either A, meet with the chair,
Mhm.
propose our solution, and then see what he says, or B, which is a little sneaky, but it's what I have to do to get a lot of things done, is first I would recommend that we do a bit more research on our own. So A, that would mean measuring out the area specifically where we want to put the ramp,
Mhm.
creating some kind of immediate design. Unfortunately, I'm unable to draw, so that would require somebody else to do that. But then from there, I could compile it into, did you handbook を読みましたか？
ごめんなさい、まだ読んでいません。
はいはいはい。
But
はい。
I just kind of glanced it,
う
and then
ん。
it seemed like you propose problems and have solutions to
うん。
everything.
Yeah,
So
that's the
that's
thing.
great.
So yeah. So having a solution
Mm,
is very good in getting more people to engage with you,
yep.
just from my experience. So I could take all of that information, compile it into a small presentation, and then when we actually meet with the chair himself, then we could present it to him and say we already have the solution plan and that we know exactly how we want to do this. And then I think that would mean that it would give us a bigger chance of success.
Yeah, I think you are right about it. So yeah, so should we go with B then?
Hi.
Okay, perfect. And then so how many people do you want to get involved on this process?
I think the best thing would be, so this is the only issue with B versus A. So if we want to include everybody, then the design of the ramp, I think, could reflect that. Again, if we're allowed to make it on our own, we could include, I don't know, one teacher, or just like send out something into each, program, and then say, this is our design. Or we could come up with a design that has different spots for people to put down specific words or characters from their specified languages, and then from there just ask one teacher or whoever's interested from each part of the department and say, okay, what is one word that means accessibility to you, or one word that means freedom to you, or something along those lines. And then from there, that would be our way of including everybody. So that way, when we actually design the ramp, it could have those words plastered on it or etched into it. And that way, yeah, I think it would represent, the overall inclusiveness of what we're trying to go for. And of course, we could make sure that the biggest word is in Nihongo.
All right. Good thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is my suggestion,
Mm-hmm.
or this is at least what I think from what I heard now. I
Mm-hmm.
would go with kind of like a compromise between A and B proposals. So I think it's great idea that you do research and measure and, kind of our plan put together
Mm-hmm.
before just kind of casually talking to the chair.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have some kind of ideas, and then we'll present it to him and then say we want to get more people involved in
Mm-hmm.
this. And so like I think it will be, because it's kind of, if we involve a lot of people, for instance, to design and everything, and like even instructors announce and so forth, it will be a shame if something doesn't work. So I want to make sure that like this is on the right track,
Yeah, on
but
the
I
right.
think
So.
it's good idea that we do our homework before
Mm-hmm.
presenting that to him. So maybe keeping it, then I don't know. This is just an idea now that what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe first we get together with a Japanese group,
Mm-hmm.
because I can send off the information without involving other
Mm-hmm.
programs, language programs.
Right.
And then we kind of come up with an idea,
Mm-hmm.
but not concrete, like this is the like exact design that we want and stuff like that, that we will just wait till
Mm-hmm.
what the chair would say.
Mm-hmm.
But we make a plan, like this is how we want to go about, and we want to get other language group
Mm-hmm.
involved. But I would like to hear your suggestions or advice how we go about this.
Mm-hmm.
So we bring that kind of maybe short presentation. Maybe you can
Mm-hmm.
create, present that to him, get his suggestion and advice, and get him involved in the process.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will go to other language group. If he says, okay, we can, design something, like ask other groups to design, and maybe it could be competition, I don't know, but something like that. And yeah, and then at that point you can present to all the language group as a maybe event or something, and then yeah, something like that. What do you think?
I think 天才ですね.
Isai? ありがとう。
はい.
ぜひとも。
I think that's good. That's really good. We can definitely do that. So I think, yeah, I think that's the way to go. We'll come up with the preliminary design with that, initial little research, and then we can show it off, and then we can start including other people. If that's the case, then if we are going to do with the compromise, which I like, I love, I think we need to start thinking about initial steps then, now that we've
Yeah,
settled on that.
perfect.
So first things first, I think, is that we need to do some measurements of the area alongside taking a picture of the area. What I can do So I'm just thinking aloud right now. Okay, so yeah.
Okay.
So what would be good is taking some pictures of the area. I
Mhm.
can write out like a brief reason as to why specifically the area is like, why we want to improve upon it.
Mhm.
Then from there we can take measurements as well.
Mhm.
Just to indicate on how big we would want the ramp to be. So that way it, allows for ease of access
Mhm.
and we have something more concrete in that. And then from there, I can take that information that you provide to me. And if you said that you're going to involve, one thing that I have learned specifically when it comes to accessibility is the more visuals you have,
Mhm.
the better off it is. So that's
Yeah.
why I've spent a lot of time, like the handbook is very,
Mhm.
visually
Yeah.
oriented because you have to provide a lot of this stuff in a very easy to digest manner and then very engaging manner. So
Mhm.
if you could also get anybody to potentially do drawings or just like, better indicators of what it is instead of me just trying to recreate it on Canva,
Yep.
I can then take all of that, compile it into like a single presentation.
Mhm.
Then we can meet with the head together and if he approves it, then we can move forward with the plan. And if not, we can try to figure out alternatives. And also, we need to figure out the reason as to why specifically it's not allowed. So that way I can take that and move forward with it when it comes to Georgia Tech administration as well.
Perfect.
Because this is essentially a good learning experience for me to figure out what is and isn't allowed and also
Mhm.
what I can do to make sure other buildings like this, because Swann isn't the only one with the same issue. Ooh,
Yep.
there are multiple throughout tech,
Mhm.
with like the mini elevator that you have to get somebody to unlock and operate. A
Exactly.
if I
Yeah,
can figure this out,
practical.
then I can apply the solution all over the campus, and I think it'll be a really good thing.
Yep, sounds perfect. So
Mm,
I think what uh I just yeah, my take is so we could do this together, but I think
mm,
it's good to get other people involved because
mm,
I'm not in the I think it's probably get good that engineering students would get
mm,
involved and measure instead of
mm,
me doing it.
mm,
I'm arts and humanity, so
mm,
so why do you agree that maybe you can write up like short, note describing message to Japanese program students what you want to do and like the goal and how your proposal for this
mm,
project
mm,
and then have some volunteers
mm,
um, help us to
mm,
do this. So I can be with you, and you
mm,
you come right to the Swan
mm,
building, and we'll help you to get access to
mm,
the place. And so let's ask volunteers
mm,
to help us.
mm,
Then you create a presentation, maybe like a short one because chair doesn't have so much time. So
mm,
maybe 15, 20 minutes most, at most, I think. And
so,
then we can, you and I, maybe some other people, if they have time, we can go together to talk
mm,
to chair. But I
so,
think to me, it seems like it's best you write the message and then I
mm,
can forward that
mm,
to the whole Japanese group.
mm. I can do that, and then when I'm
Yeah.
done with it, I'll send it to you. So in the message specifically, let me think. So what exactly will we be asking like in that message for students to help with? Should I just explain the issue or should I say we want X, Y, and Z?
そうですね。That's good question. Should we talk brief ideas about the project and its goal?
Hmm.
What do you think?
I mean, see, that's
I
the
mean, like
issue.
as a
I mean, I
first
want to
step,
include, yeah, yeah.
we would like to measure the environment or something. I don't know,
Mm,
the space, and we need some volunteers to help us or something.
mm, mm. I think,
And someone we are looking for someone who is interested in being part of this project to
mm,
help us have more accessibility
mm,
to the building
mm,
and so forth.
mm.
And
I
then
think,
you explain who you are. You can include your handouts, your presentation, so that people would
mm,
understand where you're coming from, maybe.
mm. I
That
don't know if adding all, I have so much stuff that I don't want to intimidate people with ending out that, but I can make a small flyer. right?
Okay.
Make it nice and kirei, and then from there, I'll send it to you. You can send it out depending on if you like it or not. Like the individual language, the Japanese language learning programs guide that I made last semester, something like that. And then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah, can you write this message and then forward it to me? And then I think it's best coming from you. So I will just forward the whole thing to the group and then
Mm,
say we are looking for someone. And then of
mm,
course I'm in.
mm,
I'm with you. Okay.
mm.
Mm.
I think yeah, that's good. That's good.
Okay, so
Okay.
what? And then once the volunteers, you
Mhm,
need to probably put the dates,
mm,
deadline. Like
mm,
we want to, we want to like a deadline is this date. So
mm,
please sign up. So for instance, what I do when ask for volunteers, like please sign up on this sheet and use like a Qualtrics
mm,
to have access to, and then like please leave, in a survey format.
mm,
You need name, contact,
mm,
and maybe your interest or how you want to help us or something, and
mm,
something like that, and then put it in a Qualtrics survey format.
mm,
And then from the email, they can just directly access to the Qualtrics to
mm,
answer your questions. And then you can look at if you have deadlines, some people would sign up
mm,
before the deadline, and then you have few people to help you to
mhm,
start with.
mm, mm,
And then we can ask for volunteers later time,
mm,
one more time for if the project expands.
mhm,
And then at that point, we will be talking with a chair, and then we can form the study group or your presentation event or
mm,
whatever.
mm,
And so that's kind of something I'm
mhm. Okay.
thinking.
Yeah, that would be good. Would you mind making the Qualtrics form because I've never used
Course.
it before?
Yeah, I
Okay,
could do that.
that would be great.
Yeah, and then I'll just send you the link or something, or maybe there should be a way to have a share
mm,
Qualtrics, but I've never done that before. So
mm,
yeah, but anyway, I could do that part.
mm.
Yep.
So,
And then like once volunteers are gathered, we can discuss the
mm,
date when we can meet and then measure. Maybe
mm,
we don't need to maybe meet the all together at the same time, but
mm,
yeah, something like that. And we can get together, take
mm,
photos,
mm,
maybe someone can draw.
mm,
And yeah, so maybe you also need to mention like what kind of skills are required for this. Someone who could measure, someone who could draw,
mhm,
someone who could take photos or
mm,
something like that. Maybe if you give specific ideas, then
mm,
maybe somebody might get
mhm,
interested.
mm. All right, yeah, I can definitely do that. Let me just quickly write that down. So
Yeah.
someone, uh, so something to draw. Mhm. I mean, most of this wouldn't only like the only issue that I would have potentially with inviting other people on this is we don't really need a lot of data necessarily because like I agree that having somebody who can take measurements and know how to, design out just a regular ramp, that would make sense. But the only issue is let's say we get like two or three or four people, we only need one thing. We only need a few photos and we only need one set of measure and then
Okay.
so if we do put out a form, let's say, and let's say, hey, we get even three people to
Mhm.
sign up, then we can have one person would be able to take photos and do measurements and create a drawing. Then what we would do with the other two people, right? We all tell them to do the same thing, and then it ends up just with too many people to manage. So
Yeah.
what would you
Okay.
recommend on that?
Uh, do you have friends who can help you, or do you want to invite someone to help you?
友達がいない。
What about like for instance, Shibakumaru-san
う
or
んうん。I mean, I have, hmm, I have PCA, so I can get somebody to do all of these for us,
Mhm.
but then we wouldn't need to involve, because I want to involve other people, right? It would be
So
nicer
many
for it to be a
people?
group. Yeah. to involve it as
Okay.
a group activity, but I can get somebody to do all of this as
Yeah,
well on their
I
own.
also have someone, maybe he could help us.
Mm,
But you said you only need one or two people?
mm. Actually, you know what? Yep. I figured it out. All right, so we'll send out the thing like we've been planning. When it comes to actually, I think that what we should ask for isn't necessarily for somebody to take pictures or do any of that, but more specifically just with the design, more than
Okay.
anything
I
else.
Yeah, I think design should go after we talk to chair because I don't
Mm,
want to waste time and then like not used at all. But I guess you're right. We need someone to design just to show what we
mm,
are thinking in mind. You're
mm,
right. You're right. そうですね。Okay. どうしようか。What would make most sense? And then, don't want anybody like you put you on a spot or anything. So,
mm,
maybe do you want to find someone to help us? That's okay as well. I can ask.
mm.
Like
Oh,
instead of like putting it in a listserv at
mm,
this stage, because listserv, if we use listserv, the message goes to everyone in the
mm,
Japanese program. So we could start kind of more
mm,
quietly.
mm,
And so yeah, I can ask a few people if you want to.
mm.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, I think that's a good way.
Okay.
Ask people, then just let me know what you come back with. In the meantime, what I'll do is when I'm free one of these days, I'll sneak over to Swan and I'll take the measurements and photos and try to compile that, I
Oh no,
think.
you don't need to do that yourself.
Mm,
We could do it together because
mm.
yeah. Or is it easier if you just do it
No, no, no.
yourself?
It's yeah, yeah. It's fine either way. It's fine either way. Okay, so then we'll do that. So just come back with me and let me know if you can find anybody who's
Okay.
willing to help out, who'd be able to assist us with this, and then afterwards we'll just create that presentation with the data that we
Okay.
gather, something really quickly. I can make sure that it's something very short, sweet, and to the point. So that way we don't have something that's like 24 hours or something like that. And then afterwards, if it's approved, then we'll be good to go.
Okay. じゃあ、ちょっと待ってね。And one thing, so I know one person who told me like I want to volunteer for something. So
Hmm.
I could ask him.
Hmm.
Other people, I have not heard like I want to volunteer. So I have to find someone.
Hmm.
So is it okay if I make an announcement in my Japanese class? Like I'm
Sure.
teaching like 3 sections of 1001 this semester.
Oh.
So
Hmm.
I could ask them.
Hmm.
Is it okay? I ask them.
大丈夫です。
Okay. はい。Okay. じゃあそうしましょうか。
はい。
うん。Okay. Did we cover everything?
えーっuh, I think so, yeah. If we haven't covered anything, I'll just send you email, and then we can go from there. So let me know how it goes. If we can find anybody, great. If we can't, then we can do the plan B, which would just be to send out a proper thing to everyone and ask I have form, and that would be a bit bigger, but we still can get some help. And then from there, we'll take the data that we need. I'll create the presentation. We'll present it to the chair. If the chair says yes, then we'll move forward and show it off to the other people in the modern languages school and see if they'd be willing to collaborate with us.
Okay.
And then after all is said and done, hopefully by the end of the semester at the latest, we'll have something that's bona fide working, solution, and that would be really great for all parties involved.
All right. Perfect. So
Yeah.
I'll just ask someone and then find someone and
Mm,
then I'll let you know.
はい。はい。
Okay. はい。じゃあ
はい。
ちょっと、yeah,
はい。
it might take a little bit of time, but
うん。
because, yeah, probably okay, but hi. And then if no luck, we'll find. I think it may be better if you ask like advanced level students because they're more committed to
う
Japanese.
ん。
So I don't know how much luck I have,
Mm.
but maybe if no one, probably one person at least should help
Maybe
us.
Parks sensei. could also ask
そう
because
だね。Yeah,
はい。
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
はい。
good idea.
うん。
Yeah, perfect.
うん。
Awesome. So can you ask Park 先生?
I think so, yeah, because I have class, so I can do that then, and I'll tell her about this, and I'll send her the recording, and then we can go from there.
Okay. じ
はい。
ゃあ、I'm going to ask this one person who always said like I can volunteer. So I'll just
うん。
ask him.
うん。
And maybe you can ask Park 先生 and
う
she
ん。
might know someone.
うん。
Okay.
はい。
So, じゃあ、I should be let you know within probably a few days.
はい。
Okay. And then we'll talk or we'll email or
うん。
something from there.
はい。
Okay.
はい。では、はい。So
Perfect.
go ahead and
よかった。